Hi, good afternoon. So this module is kind of like an advanced version of the Odoo Dynamic Export module. You can find that on the Odoo App Store. So what I'm currently going to show right now is how to use this particular module to dynamically generate um, data. You can filter as much as possible, and you can also use configure your own or write your own Python expression and domains for Odoo to use it in extraction of your data. So, in a nutshell, this module is actually meant for technical developers, but you can also, if you have a technical background of how or technical knowledge of how Odoo works, you can be able to now define your field and then be able to pull them out based on the particular customized domain. So, how does this work? Take for instance, here I want to pull all the data and I will limit it to 5. So if I'm trying to pull all my records in this domain, I will now have to say, okay, I'm going to pull all the records in this particular domain. So this is how I'm going to set this to be. Then it means that I'm going to through all the records and then without actually providing any filtering, and the system should be able to pull record. But you can come here to set the limit to 5 or to 500 depending on the number of records you want to extract. So here, another dynamic domain you can provide is this. So here, what comes in at this point should be the field technical name, and then depending on the model that you're actually targeting, you can now come here, select that particular model. In my own case, I'm using contact, and then you can provide name of the field you want to target, or I can say name because I might know the technical name. So of course you can be able to use this to locate your technical names. Once you select the name of the field you wanted, you can be able to know the technical names that the field belongs to. So in this case, I want to use first name. I'll come here to provide my first name. So I'll say first name is equal to or in. So you can utilize this equal to, and then you provide what you wanted, age, right? And I can come here to say in so that it's going to pull all the records that has a first name that is in HU or whatsoever I'm trying to extract. So this is a way, so I'm pushing this in a list and then I'm adding them in my domain. So when I'm trying to extract this data, it's going to search based on this domain and limit it to 5. This is more like doing an Odoo search or an Odoo ORM search operation. So here I'm going to set back to what I have before. So I'm trying to pull all the records and the phone number, which is phone, is in these numbers. So in my own case, if I go back to my contacts, these are the test data that I have here. One of the records, which is sorry, I have to take this up. So you see, I have one of the phone numbers here, and the second one, I have some one of the phone numbers here, and then let's see if there is any other number that I have, and then the third one, I have this number. So what can I do here? Let me copy this phone number so we can add them to our domain. So the system can actually fetch 3 records for us. So it's possible some records of data are having similar phone numbers. So I'm going to add one of these phone numbers here. All right. So let's see if the system can be able to pull phone number records in contact that the phone numbers are in 3 of these numbers. So when I'm done, I will have to first of all I will have to then customize my fields. What kind of fields do I want to see during my extraction? So let me show you the example of what I've extracted before, where you have your first name, your phone number, country, and then your tags and then the child contacts in case you needed that. So one thing about this application is that you can be able to use it to extract a whole lot of data. You can extract data that belongs to, for example, a one-to-many field or a relational field, and then a many-to-many field. So, for example, I can add my child contacts and then have them appended in a separated in a comma separated value. So, for example, if my child contact has country names, I can come here back to my system. For example, you see this child contact. I can come here to now provide its country.name. So you can say country.id, you can say country.code, whichever value or reference you want to prove you want to get in this particular one to many or many to many field. So again, I provide the date. So one good thing you should know here is that, for example, if I select the dates field, here the system by default, of course, there is a helper. If I clear this, there is a helper to share to tell you this is how the date format you so you can decide to provide your own date format, but by default, you can see the placeholder here. You can be able to now decide which one you want to provide. All right. So feel free to look at the Python play format examples or options for you to be able to get this working. Then the Python logic. So for example, this Python logic works very fine in one to many and many to many fields. So for example, I want to get all the child contacts that the country ID dot name is in. Now I have to provide this country ID dot name is in Nigeria or South Africa or whatever that I would like to provide. So I have to provide another expression. All right. So in this expression, I can provide more videos. I can provide an if else statement or a Python expression that the system will use in searching this particular um, records inside this table. All right, so I can now say country is equal to Nigeria. So this way, I am providing a Python expression inside my Python logic for this field. So what I'm going to do is to look through the I'm going to look through this record to find all the child contacts that has a country name is equal to Nigeria. That is actually what I'm trying to do. All right. So the next thing is, for example, a many to one record or field type. A many to one field type, you can actually provide the actual value of what you are looking for. All right. So for example, I'm looking for let's see what we can get from here. So which minute to one do we have here? So I can pull from there and I can say, okay, fine, let me set um I have a field called school EMS. So feel free to use your own field. These are customized fields. So you can say school underscore EMS, EMIS, and then ID. So I can come here to now provide my school. Remember, a minute to one field is also a reference. It's also referencing to a model. So I can come here to say school EMS ID, all right, of name. So it's possible that it will be school EMS ID dot something else. So you can decide to look through and get the particular field attribute. All right. So it can be field school EMS dot ID. It can be school EMS dot wherever. All right. So in this case, name is the actual field that exists in every model in Odoo. So actually, I'm using this name. So you can provide every other thing that you wanted. So in my case, I'll be trying to show you the you can add more fields. All right. So you can add more fields here on the add a line option. So in my case, I will try to add and start more fields I'll be using here. So let's say I'm trying to add my barcode. Of course, I don't have any barcode. So let me look for create dates or create UID. So let's say we created this record. In my own case, what will I do here? Because this is a many to one record, I can decide to provide just name. All right. So providing just name, the system should be able to dictate that I'm actually getting to the field direct. Or you can provide this means that I'm going through res.users table. Of course, we know that create UID is actually talking to a model called res.user, and then there is a reference field. There's a related field inside or field attribute inside res.user called name. So in this case, going to print out the create user name. All right. So I can decide to say create user ID or create user email. All right. Just provide the email here. All right. So the system should be able to build um, extract the email of the person that created this inside this column called field chain. So I think I've covered some of my okay, another field I would like to cover is a boolean field. So a boolean field type, let's use active. Okay, active. So now in this case, what type of Python logic do I want to express here? For example, I might say I want to get the ones that are active. But feel free. I'm not going to show this right now. So a boolean field, some fields were locked, except you're trying to do a what's it called? A Python logic in the case where maybe you really wanted to provide a value. So which value am I trying to provide? Should in case this particular record is false. All right. So I can now say um, something like new if, all right, true, else old, right? So these are the values that I really wanted to output instead of the normal true or false value. All right. So the system should be able to give me in the column of this particular field either new or old. So in this case, you are now off from trying to define the system generating just new. You're just true or false for you. So you can decide what you really wanted to add here. So I can decide to say new or false or for whatever. All right. So here I provide my header or label is active. So what I'm trying to say here is if it is active, then it's a new record. If it is not, then it's an old record. So this is what I'm trying to display during this extraction. So let me pause this video. I think I may have numerous records. So let me go over here and then pause this video and extract. I'll come back to you right now. All right, so I'm back. Once you click on the export and download, you can be able to see the files generated here. So let me close this and for us to be seeing what I'm doing. Then you click on this download Excel file. The system should automatically download and show you an option where you really wanted to save your data. So in this case, this is what I am having. So remember, I set a domain, then the system is coming up to show us our fields so you can see. All right. So this is what I'm actually saying. So if all the records are active, then I should see new, or else I should see no. So this is just a situation whereby you have a boolean field, so you can define your own Python logic and then have them display here. So here I have my Excel. I can expand this to see what I actually extracted. So the reason I'm seeing these are the numbers. You can see most of the numbers are what I defined on my domain. All right. So these are the records I have. Most of them don't have a country. So that's it. Thank you very much. Feel free to tell me or to give me a feedback should in case you are having an issue. Of course, there are some constraints, there are some kind of like a validations. For example, if your domain is actually missing some um, maybe for example your domain, this is missing on your domain. Once you try to export and download, the system will tell you that there is an issue with the domain construction. So just actually subsequent version of this module, we are intending to make everything dynamic. For example, you can be able to select user friendly. You can be able to select these domains based on a UI or a user friendly interface. Thank you very much for this. Kindly give me feedback in case you are having difficulties on this. Thank you.